Now, again, the bear flag to me has me positioning for a target of around 24,800 to 24,000 as a first target range. So I'm still in the camp that this is going lower. I was the only one, or one of the only ones out there. Maybe there was one more person in the universe saying 30,500 would be the resistance and the pullback. That was obviously dead on, folks. Again, you have to be blind not to see that was a dead on call there. Now,
as the founder and CEO of an acclaimed financial research and education firm, Gareth Soloway is renowned for his unparalleled expertise in technical analysis, trading psychology, and risk management. In this video, Soloway discusses about debt ceiling default trade, 3 stocks to watch, and Bitcoin breakout or fake out. In the turbulent digital markets, Bitcoin, the cornerstone of crypto, stands weather beaten. Moreover, despite being the lodestar of digital currencies, it flounders below the $30,000 mark. Underpinned by historical patterns and market trends, Soloway's forecast may seem grim but is not without merit. Furthermore, his views serve as a stark reminder of the risks inherent in the volatile crypto market. Bitcoin comes under some selling pressure as traders await update on debt limit talks. During the reporting period, Bitcoin price descent wiped $51 million in positions held on it. Some analysts have argued that its drop could lead to further declines below $25,000. Ether mirrored Bitcoin price performance. According to Nansen's data, the number of staked Ether reached a new all-time of 19.55 million as staking deposits have surpassed withdrawals. CryptoSlate market updates Bitcoin dumps below $27,000 amid market-wide rout. Attendance at world's largest Bitcoin conference, down by half as crypto winter drags on. Roughly 15,000 attendees are expected at the Bitcoin 2023 event, versus 35,000 last year, likely a result of the downturn known as crypto winter. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., U.S. presidential candidate, is among scheduled speakers. As Cointelegraph reported, shorter-term and longer-term downside targets currently extend to around $25,000 and $24,000 respectively. On-chain monitoring resource material indicators track the action on the Binance order book, with the price uptick coinciding with an increase in volume from the largest class of Bitcoin whales. The Ether price drop comes a day after Chinese prosecutors vowed to crack down on the NFT market. On top of regulatory headwinds, Ether price has followed the direction of Bitcoin price, which lost the key $27,000 support level on May 17. Analysts believe this will send the Bitcoin price to $25,000 or $24,000. Before proceeding further in this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button below for more recent updates about market.
We have here, guys, here's your Bitcoin chart, all right? Now, I'm going to move this trend line. I want to show you the trend line I'm following here. This is the one I've been talking about now quite a bit. What we do is we just put a trend line right there. What we can clearly see pivot low right through here, and then it went right through that top. To me, this is a bear flag on Bitcoin. Bear flag on Bitcoin starting to inch lower. Now, notice how bank stocks are up today and Bitcoin is down a little bit. That makes sense. Remember what happened when banks were collapsing. Banks collapsing, Bitcoin went up. So you're seeing the same pattern take place here where they trade inverse. Now I'm saying that, again, we are still going to head lower, but the next stopping point is right in the 24 to 25,000 range. Now, like I said, there are levels where I would start to go long. For me, where am I looking to potentially go long? Very simply put, if we bring a trend line right up here, you're looking at around 23,000. 23,000 would be an opportunity for me on the long side. And again, that's where I would start. So yeah, first target's 24 to 25, but ultimately, if we flush enough, I'm going to look to go long for a bounce. Now again, please understand, I'm not a long-term investor yet in Bitcoin. Yeah, I have a tiny hodl position that I bought back in the 17,000 range. We talked about that when it happened. But again, that's only a tiny position. It wasn't what I intended to accumulate. Based on the charts, this is still a bear market rally. Now again, I know your heartstrings, your gut, everything might tell you otherwise because you go on Twitter and you go in social media and you're so influenced by the influencers out there that you just can't hold your horses and you think it's a new bull market. Charts to me are everything. You guys can do that if you want. I'm fine with that. I look at the charts because I've made more money following the charts than really anyone in this day and age, right? Go over a couple crypto charts here. Crypto, look at this. Look at the parallels. I'm a huge fan of parallels. Start drawing your parallels, guys. Check this out. Here you have a bear flag starting to form, beginning to downtick on Ethereum. Where's your next parallel? Down here around 1,600 or just below. To me, that's where it's likely headed. All right, so again, bear flag is bearish. Again, I'm not making this up. Go in any textbook. Look at these stuff. Bear flag is bearish. That's why it has the name. Target for me, you're going to look at around the 1600 level. There'll be some support around 17 or so, but we kind of already kissed it at this low. So you're now looking at that 1580 level. Take a look at Matic. Where am I looking to buy Matic? All right, so Matic is interesting to me if it gets down to this level. Huge support down here on Matic, guys, around 75, 74 cents. Could it go lower? Yeah, I mean, if Bitcoin really starts to collapse, it could go a lot lower. But ultimately, that's your first entry. Remember,
Gold, silver see price declines at greenback surges. Prices are now in a downtrend on the daily bar chart to suggest a near-term market top is in place. Bull's next upside price objective is to produce a close above solid resistance at $2,025. Bear's next near-term downside price objective is pushing futures prices below solid technical support at $1,900. First resistance is seen at today's high of $1,988, and then at $2,000. Technically, the gold futures bulls have the overall near-term technical advantage but are fading. As per Soloway, when there's increased uncertainty or instability in financial markets, investors often turn to gold and silver as a means of preserving their wealth, which can drive up their prices. Price pressure on gold, silver following downbeat China data. The silver bulls and bears are on a level overall near-term technical playing field. Silver bulls' next upside price objective is closing July futures prices above solid technical resistance at $25. The next downside price objective for the bears is closing prices below solid support at $23.
gold. I've been saying for this, I talked about this in last week's game plan. Gold is going to come back to this level right here. You're looking around 1925. All right, it kind of double topped. We hit the all-time high level on gold. Then it's rolled over yesterday. My guess is you have a little bit of support around 1970 right down here, right? So again, if we zoom in a little bit, I want to show you this. See all these lows right here? That's going to be support. So again, that'll be a little bit of support. I would call that a minor level of support. And then ultimately, you're looking for a move lower into this level. Once we get to about 1925-ish, give or take, that's where I start accumulating a long position on gold, probably buying some minors as well. If we look at the GDX, take a look at this chart. So this chart's starting to break lower here below this little pivot. You still have a lot of support right over here. For me, I'm going to show you what I'm looking at right here. Where do I go for a potential buying opportunity? Take these lows right here, extend this line right out below that pivot. So again, pivot to pivot. This is by the way, drawing trend lines is not hard to do. Anyone can do it. It just takes a little patience to kind of get it down. But all I'm doing is connecting. Do you guys remember the kids' game, Connect the Dots, back in the day? You could connect it out. You see, oh, it's now a picture of something, whatever. Same kind of deal here. Relatively simple. So pivot low to pivot low to pivot low. My buy level on the GDX becomes around $29.60, $29.60. In general, what we want to do is we want to find a confluence of levels. So again, one trend line is great. You probably get a 70% probability that you'll bounce off that trend line. I like greater than 70% personally. I want to win 80% of the time. How do I do 80%? Find 2 or 3 factors, 2 or 3 levels. Check this out. Connect that high right down here and look at what you get. 2 levels coming together around this 29.60 area, 29.70, we'll call it, whatever it may be. That, to me, now all of a sudden boosts the probabilities. If price on GDX comes into that level, the probabilities are now 80% or greater that it bounces. Notice it's not 100%, right? There's so many investors out there, and usually the newbies that think like, you know, you invest in here, it's 100% going to win. That doesn't happen. Anyone who tells you they don't have losses is BSing you. I have losses. Everyone does. Let's go to silver real quick. I had called for a pullback to this trend line on silver at around $23 and $23.90, $23.80. We're right into that level right there. And again, that's a classic trend line. I still actually think we could go lower on silver. If gold's going to sell off more, then likely silver probably has some downside. I don't know if silver can get this low to 21.16, 21.20, we'll call it. But that would be a very, very big level for me. A couple other levels that I'll be watching on the silver chart here. Let me go back into my trend lines here and draw that out. But if we just put a line right across here, this is another one, right? So you can see this pivot here, and then there's a little bit of the area there and there. That to me would also be a level. So I had called for a pullback to 24, 23.90. We've gotten there. I'm still not that interested in buying yet, mainly because gold hasn't come down enough. If gold gets down a little bit faster, then maybe I would step into silver. But the way I figure it is if gold is selling off, let's say another 3 or 4%, Silver probably does 5 or 6%, which gets us probably down to this level, around $22.50 or 40 cents. Once we get there, I'm going to start nibbling on silver, right? I'm a long-term bull on silver. I'm a super long-term and mid-term bull on gold. Eventually, gold breaks the all-time highs, and probably by year-end, I still have a $2,300 price target. Okay.
Debt ceiling crisis hangs over markets, with investors hoping to avoid a repeat of 2011. As per Soloway, the recent bank runs have allowed cryptocurrencies, particularly Bitcoin and precious metals like gold, to stand out as alternatives outside the banking system, as he had noted that this was exactly why Bitcoin came into being. Do you agree with Gareth Soloway's perspective about Bitcoin and gold performance? Where does the Bitcoin heading in the coming days? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. If you found this information helpful, then like this video and subscribe to our channel. We will bring you more updates in the future.